You know, in a bid to arrest the epileptic power supply in the country, the federal government says it has paid $120 million out of 1.3 billion naira owed gas firms. Now the idea is to ensure a steady supply of gas for the running of power plants in Nigeria. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu says the gesture is owing to the stoppage of gas supply for the generation of electricity. Jide can only get better from here.
Yeah, you know, this matter came up, I think about 2 weeks ago, and I did say at that time that the IOCs in our country preferred to sell gas to foreign clients, because with the foreign clients, they are doubly sure that they will be paid. That guarantee is always there. We have no reason, in my view, to price gas that is used, that is consumed locally, because there's no other way to describe what is being done than to say, okay, this gas is being consumed within the borders of our country.
Okay.
My feeling is there is no reason in the world to price gas that is used to produce electricity, that is used to fire power stations
Yeah.
in dollars.
Dollars.
You and I, those power stations give us electricity. Egbin, for example, here in Lagos is the biggest in West Africa. And it's the biggest power plant in our country, the biggest gas-fired plant in our country. Why should we price gas in dollars within our country? You can see why we have all kinds of problems.
A commodity produced here.
For our people, produced to generate electricity. The Gencos they need this gas supply before they can fire their plants. The bulk of the power plants that we have are gas-fired. Only, I think, about 3 are hydro.
Kanji and the rest.
Yes, Kanji, Shiroro, and Jeba.
Yeah.
They are hydro plants. In the past, we relied heavily on the Kanji Dam with its installed capacity of 700 megawatts at that time. But increasingly, we've moved in the direction of gas-fired turbines. Now, all kinds of problems happen. The power plants are located far away from the source of gas.
Yeah, okay then.
These boys who breach pipelines, sometimes we will think, oh, it's probably crude oil or whatever that is inside. They go and break. And once you break the gas pipeline, you cannot pipe it. You are wasting your
good night.
It's waste. It's a waste. So they suffer from that. But of course, these gas producers, these gas companies, they are being owed a lot of money. And you can understand. Even the discos are being owed a lot of money. Yeah. There's a lot of energy theft going on. Look at the story that we were discussing here the other day. All those government agencies, the army and the rest of them.
Okay. Yeah.
So now in this case, we've been suffering from inadequate gas supply to power plants. And it has caused system collapse a number of times. It has also led to poor energy generation. So, and if we do not generate enough, you can't transmit enough, you cannot distribute enough. The distributors, the distribution companies are the last leg of the relay. So, we have suffered. Government needs to constantly communicate, let people know what the problem is. Everyone is abusing the Minister of Power. If you ask people today, they will say it's the worst minister. But the gas supply is at the root of the problem that we have. This is it. Now, the government has quickly moved to say, okay, let's clear this indebtedness, because you can't blame this company if they don't supply gas. Why should I continue to supply people who are owing me? They are owing, you've complained for so long, they continue to owe. So now we are confident that things will be improved because government has moved quickly to defray,
the indebtedness.
to pay this, this debt.
Well, Charles, these days we are thinking at the same time of alternative energy sources. And they abound in my country. Sun, wind, and name them.
Yeah, exactly. But first, let me applaud excuse me. I think this intervention by the federal government is really, really applaudable, because even though for me, I query the issue of after you have privatized the sector, you are still, spoon feeding the system. Because if you look at it, what you just read is $120 million paid out of $1.3 billion, not naira, because you mentioned naira earlier.
I thought
actually dollars. When you look at it, as at February 15 this year, that's 2024, we had report that the level of indebtedness is in naira this time around 3.3 trillion naira owe them, and that. But if you look at the subsidy payment for this year, what we are going to be paying is is going to go up about 3 trillion naira. But what the federal government had made provision for in the 2024 Appropriation Act is only 450 billion naira out of 3 trillion naira. So you see that it's just we're just scratching the surface. I mean, as I said, it's applaudable for government to pay that $120 million out of 1.3 billion. But again, it's just it's a stopgap measure actually. But again, I also look at, just as you mentioned, why should we have 70% of our energy need in Tema when you have solar energy? I watched a documentary early last week, when I saw Dubai, what Dubai is doing with solar energy. You have about the solar farm, they call it solar farm, after about, how many hectares of land that they have solar panels everywhere, so large, larger than K2.
Bring it home to Africa. Morocco is leading here.
Morocco is also leading. But we are here, we are still tied to the apron strings of analog system. We know that we can indeed move forward. But this is why I had to praise the effort of the Abia State government. I mean, those who started it, and the OT that has just finished it, that to ensure that the unbundling of the electricity generation and supply, which of course was the exclusive list, has now been taken over by states and others.
Charles, the Abia story is a happy one.
Yeah, it's a happy one. It's a happy one. But I hope
I can't wait for Abba to get
to return to high. But I just learned that was it yesterday that they celebrated the 48 hours light no blinking for the first time in Abba, particularly. They said, okay, 2 days no light off and all that. So, but again, I just pray that the Nigerian system or the Nigerian factors doesn't also take over in the course of time. But again, as I said, the government needs to do something. Joe, let me quickly say this.
Except that we need more work than prayer.
Let me quickly say this, that, privatization in this country has actually worked to some extent. But this power sector is the first, I can say, that has not worked. When it was NEPA, we were having light 24 hours.
Power, you will agree, is key.
It's key to industrialization, it's key to everything.
And all these noises about Forex.
Will be eliminated. Exactly. That's it. But I hope, as I said, I'm not adding prayer, but I hope we get it right.